to UOIT's newsroom. Successful conflict resolution requires a proper attitude. There's no magic in resolving conflicts. However, there are ways to manage conflicts constructively. Let's get some conflict going.
If we are to look at the definition of conflict, it is an expressed struggle between at least two different parties who perceive incompatible goals, scarce rewards, and interference from the other party in achieving their goals. Let me explain this in simpler terms. It's kind of like a trial where one person accuses another person. It was your fault. No, it wasn't. However, conflict can also be seen as a good thing. It can be constructive and more like a dance where partners work together to create solutions. Win-lose conflict is somewhat like that of playing a game of Scrabble, whereby there is a winner and a loser. Power is this distinguishing characteristic, as it is necessary to defeat the opponent in a win-lose situation. We can also see physical power, assigned power, someone in a position of authority, and intellectual power, suggesting brains are more important than brawn.
In healthcare, win-lose occurs when those in power, for instance, doctors, misuse their power.
Nurse Barbie, I noticed you didn't administer the Tylenol 3 as I prescribed.
The patient was asleep. I didn't want to disturb him by injecting an IV.
You should follow orders. What do you mean? Only a nurse.
I'll go administer the IV right away.
Yeah, you should. Gosh.
In healthcare, doctors with power may win the conflict, but win-lose resolution pushes down and devalues the feelings and goals of subordinates.
Lose-lose conflict resolution is a resolution of conflict where no one achieves the goals that they are seeking. Both sides of the argument want a win-lose resolution at first. However, a lose-lose conflict resolution is reached at the end. This resolution can be a failure of communication and personal relationships, since sometimes a compromise must be reached and both sides are hurt in the process.
So does lose-lose happen in healthcare? Please consider this.
A woman was apparently left unattended and died in New York's Kings County Hospital. This videotape allegedly shows a 49-year-old woman slumping to the floor on June 19 in the psychiatric emergency room after reportedly waiting there for nearly 24 hours. The local NBC station in New York reported surveillance footage 20 minutes later shows a security guard looking and walking off camera. 10 minutes later, she kicks her legs. 8 more minutes pass. Another guard looks on, but apparently leaves. NBC reports more than 20 minutes later, a doctor checks, but walks away. Then a reported nurse apparently looks for a response. There is none.
In this infamous example, healthcare workers failed to respond to the call of duty. This neglect resulted in a lose-lose resolution. The patient died while the healthcare workers were criminally charged and lost the right to practice. Both parties lost something of value. Lose-lose occurs from neglect or criminal behavior. In health, the results can be devastating.
In a compromising situation, a sacrifice is made by both sides in order to reach a resolution. Each side attains some part of their goals, but neither goal is fully reached. If both sides are truly happy and are not only pretending to agree with the other side, then compromise can be one of the most effective ways to reach a solution. A healthcare example is a job-sharing experience that can create conflict. Let's look at Sarah and Matt's situation. Recently, Sarah needs more time at home because she has a sick father and needs to take him to appointments on Mondays and Tuesdays. Sarah is not satisfied with the situation and informs the hospital administration. The administration in turn determines that Sarah and Matt need to create a new schedule and compromise to reach a solution for the job sharing experience.
Win-win conflict resolution is when both parties work together to find a solution that satisfies all goals. By talking things out, a solution is found that satisfies everyone without causing compromise.
Nurse Barbie, I noticed you didn't administer the Tylenol 3 in the IV as I prescribed.
The patient was asleep. I didn't want to disturb him with an IV.
I see your point of view. You can wait till the patient is awake.
Okay, I'll go check on him.
Good job, Nurse Barbie. Great analysis. Oh, and I'll call you tonight. And that's what I call a win-win.
In healthcare, win-win resolutions are found when doors of communication are kept open. As people are free to communicate, conflicts can be worked out and solutions can be reached. Thank you from UOIT's newsroom.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. He'd let us in, knows where we've been.